Welcome back everyone for the 12 Days of Giftness. We are up to day 7. I cannot believe that we're more than halfway through the program already. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Today we are talking about move and flow. Move and flow. It wouldn't be one of the 12 Days of Giftness without starting with a quote. So here we go. We live today as the expression of the results of all of our previous choices. Let's just let that sink in a little bit. Basically, everything we've done every day of our life up until this point, this is the result. Our life, our body, everything is the result. Some of us are like, yeah, that's cool. Others are like, no, that's not true. Unfortunately, it is. Unfortunately, it is. Every path you've ever taken has landed you right here, today, right now. And that is a little bit challenging to take on board, especially if we feel like we're not quite where we want to be. So I heard a really cool quote and it said, choose your hard. And then they gave various options such as, it's really hard to be overweight, but it's also really hard to be fit. Choose your hard. What's your hard? So it's really easy to say, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go for a walk. I'd rather just stay inside on the couch eating chips. It's really easy to do that, but the results of that choice and potentially being out of shape, being unhealthy, being overweight, that's hard. It's hard on our joints, it's hard on our body organs, it's hard on our blood vessels. It can be really hard on our self-esteem as well. But on the other hand, if you want that really fit body, the one where your joints are healthy, your muscles are healthy, your body is healthy, your skin and hair and all that stuff is healthy, where you have the body that you are really proud of, your self-esteem is really great because you know how much work goes in, you do have to sacrifice the warmth, the comfort of the couch, the tastiness of the potato chips, the whatever other the comfort, the vice is. Whatever path you decide to go down, there are consequences. Some are good, some are not so good, but we do have to live with the paths that we go down. And if we get to a point in the path where we say, look, I'm not happy being on this path, that's fine, let's choose another path. Another quote, which I'm really excited to share with you, and it kind of just tones everything down a little bit, says, start where you are. Use what you have and do what you can. So a lot of us might say, well, I can't run because I'm too overweight. It puts too much pressure on my joints. Okay, you might not be able to run, but can you walk? Yes, I can walk. Then go for a walk. But I can't walk that far. But how far can you walk? A lot of the time we focus on what we can't do and what we don't have instead of focusing on what we can do and what we can achieve. They say most people overestimate what they can achieve in a year and underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. Persistency, consistency is key. Doing a little bit every single day, every single week, showing up for yourself. But it's not actually as easy just to say, well, just show up for yourself. You actually need a reason why. And you probably hear it a lot in the health and wellness fitness industry is, what's your why? Knowing your why is so important. And this helps with consistency. This helps you turn up and stay the course because you have a reason. Motivation is fleeting. Motivation comes and motivation goes. But having a why, having a goal, having a rock solid place to focus your attention, that will get you showing up every single day for yourself. Most of us set New Year's resolutions. Hands up who set a New Year's resolution and then by, let's say, 4 or 5 days into January, we've blown our resolutions and we think, oh, well, I'm stuffed for the rest of the year. Why did we blow our New Year's resolution? It was because we had all these aspirations. We were motivated, we were inspired, but we didn't know what our why was. We didn't have that deeper undercurrent of the reasons of why we were actually doing it. So it was easier just to go back to what was comfortable, go back to what was easy, go back to what we know. But to maintain consistent results, consistent effort, even when it's cold outside, even when it's raining, even when you've had a crazy day and you're a little bit tired, when you know what your why is, that will keep you going. But how do you know what your why is? So there's a little exercise called the 7 levels deep. When you say, I want to lose weight and get fit. It's a very vague, very broad goal. Why? I want to lose weight and get fit because, and then you write your answer. And then when you have that answer, you say why, and then you repeat the process. That answer, because, blah, blah, blah. Why? When you get to the point when you're at about the 7th reason, that's your why. You step out of what your head wants and you move into the emotional. What do I need or want inside of me? What is the burning desire that keeps me wanting this thing? That is how you discover your why. So it's a really good exercise just to write down for yourself and keep going until you've got at least seven responses. And if you're still not happy when you get to 7, keep going. Keep going. Find out what your why is. Find out what your burning passions are that drive you underneath, that will keep you going when it's cold outside, when it's rainy, when you can't be bothered. What's going to keep you showing up? So movement, really important. I'm sure that I'm sure that it's not going to be news to anybody that moving our body is good for our body. When we move, we go with the flow. Everything's just easier. Everything loosens. Everything flows. It's a bit like water. Water flows. If water comes up against a rock, it doesn't go, I can't go any further. It goes, I'm going to go around the rock. I'm going to go around the tree. And it just makes its way because it doesn't let what's in its way stop it. The minute that we get rigid and hard, the minute that water freezes and turns into ice, it can no longer maneuver around things. It becomes stiff and rigid. And when we stop our body from moving, our body becomes stiff and it becomes rigid and we kind of get stuck in our ways. So we need to learn to flow. And again, start where you are. Use what you have and do what you can. Start small. Start where you're at, not where your neighbor's at, not where your husband's at, not where your kids are at. Start where you are at and build from there. If you're wanting to build up some kind of exercise schedule or plan or just increase your level of exercise and your level of fitness, find exercises that you actually like, that suit you, that complement you and your personality and your style. Yes, it's cool to try a whole bunch of things because sometimes you don't know what you like until you've tried everything. But there are definitely different types of personality and different types of physique that tend to complement different types of movement. For example, my husband, incredibly lean, loves short and fast, loves a good HIIT class, loves to just get out there and go for a sprint, loves going for a really quick run, loves doing a really good boxing class, loves the adrenaline, loves getting his heart rate up, loves getting a really good sweat on. Yet if we go for a really slow bike ride or a nice walk, he gets exhausted. On the other hand, I could walk for hours and hours and hours. I can bike consistently for a very, very, very long time. Yet I find things like HIIT classes really challenging. I find running challenging. It's something that I have to work on if I want that to be my exercise of choice. It does not come naturally to me. Exercise can be a really personal thing as well. Some people just love to get in their own little zone and go and move, get in their own space, put their headphones on, blast some music, listen to a podcast while they're out there walking, while they're out there running, while they're doing whatever is a solo sport. Other people, they really thrive on team sports. Rugby, netball, basketball, those kind of collaborative sports where you get really fit, but it's not just you. You're relying on a team to pull together. Some of us need an accountability buddy, a walking buddy. It's so much easier to say, I'm not going to go and do it if it's a bit cold or if it's a bit dark. If there's no one relying on you or no one meeting you at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's easier to show up when you are being held to account. So if you want to start a new habit and you need some guidance, you need some help, find yourself an accountability buddy. Find yourself a walking partner. Find yourself a running friend. Go to a friend's boxing class with them. The most important thing is whatever you choose to do to move and to flow, whether it be yoga, whether it be dancing, whether it be boxing, do it for you. not because someone else is into it. Do it because you want to do it. So today's challenge is to set yourself a personal or a group challenge that has something to do with movement or flow. You could say, I'm going to do yoga every day for 31 days. I'm going to do a sit-up challenge. I have a goal that I want to walk 50 kilometers this week. I want to bike to work twice a week. You could set a goal or a challenge that's just for you. Or you could set one up with your family, with your friends. Make it a competition at work. Some really fun challenges could be like a squat challenge, a push-up challenge, a sit-up challenge, or even try planking. I love planks. And sometimes I get really competitive, so I probably wouldn't put as much effort in if I know that there's no competition running in the background. Some people love to track and log their movements, their heart rate, their step count, all of that. And if that helps you stay on track, or if that helps you stay motivated, then awesome. Go and find yourself a Garmin watch. Go and get a Fitbit. Go and get an Apple Watch. Sign up for the latest things, but make sure you're going to use them. Make sure you get your money's worth. Make sure you get value out of these things. There are also some really awesome apps that can help log and track your fitness. You can join in group fitness exercises. You can join challenges with people all around the world. And having that little bit of competitiveness makes it a little bit more exciting. Whatever you choose to do, make sure that it pushes you just enough to keep you motivated, to keep you excited, but it's not going to burn you out. It's not going to wear you down. It's not going to make you unwell or get injured. Because when we go too hard, too fast, too soon, that's when we get unwell, we get worn out, we get injured, and then we say, oh, I can't do this, I'm useless, and all the negative talk comes. So we want to avoid that. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. My sister-in-law is a huge inspiration to me. And she shows me that just because she's got children and she's got a full-time job doesn't mean that she lets that stand in the way of any fitness goals. She's very dedicated to her fitness, and that is really inspiring for me, and I'm really proud of the efforts that she puts in. I remember asking her about some of the fitness challenges she was doing. So I started doing a couple of them. I found them really challenging because they weren't exercises that I was familiar with. Things like bodyweight exercises and working with dumbbells, and doing things like push-ups and squats and planks, things I hadn't done for a very, very, very long time. So I started doing them, and I kept repeating and I kept repeating, and I noticed my body change. I noticed that every time I did them, they got easier and easier. I noticed my body getting stronger and stronger. Yes, it was really hard to start with, but the more I did it, the easier I found them. When I did the beginner class, one of the exercises was to do a cobra push-up repeatedly throughout the workout. This was to build upper body strength so that when I progressed to harder workouts, I would be able to complete the full push-ups. And when I started, I couldn't do one push-up. It took me a very long time to be able to do one full push-up. I was so proud of myself when I could do one push-up. But I kept going. And then I could do 4, and then 8, and then 2 sets of 5. And then I did 10 all at once, and then I did 15. And I progressively worked up to being able to do 20 in a row. And then I challenged myself to see how many sets I could do a day. So I did sets of 10 to 20 and was able to get up to 100 push-ups in a day. And this progression probably happened over about 2 months. I went from 0 to being able to do 100 very easily in a day. But I didn't get there by just showing up once a week or once a month or sitting on the couch wishing for it. I got there by consistently putting in the effort every day. And the results paid off. And once I could do one, it was so much easier to be able to do more and more and more and set the bar higher and higher and higher. And I'm really proud of myself for doing that. And it just proved to me that consistency is so important. And if I put effort in, I will get results back. But I have to be consistent and I have to show up. I started where I was. I couldn't do one. I could have very easily given up then and said, oh, I can't do one, I'm going to give up, I'm useless. But I knew if I kept going, kept trying, kept putting the effort in, I would get there. And I did. Same with planks. I could barely hold a plank, and now I love planking. But choose an exercise or a challenge that's right for you. And I want to hear all about what kind of exercise challenge you're going to do. Are you going to do it by yourself? Are you going to do it with your colleagues? Are you going to do it with your family? Is it going to be a group thing? Tell me all about it. And tell me your why. What is your why? What is your reason for moving your body, for flowing, keeping yourself supple and agile? That's what I want for you today. Thank you so much again for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I can't wait to hear about all of your challenges. Until tomorrow, take care.